Getting a job can seem like a challenging task to anyone, but when you have a disability, finding employment can be near impossible. This is because of many unhelpful beliefs that some people still hold in our society about disabled people. Beliefs like disabled people are unproductive, unreliable, and overall a burden to a company. So because of all of this, I thought I would let my brother Dave answer some questions about finding employment when you have a disability. Do you have any preconceived notions about employment and how you would be perceived before you got your apprenticeship?
I think one of the main ones I did have was believing that I would have to work harder than everyone else in order to justify them giving me the job.
What were some challenges you faced when looking for employment?
I think the main one was I had the opinion that I would have to just do the normal stuff like go online and kind of look for a job that way. But what I found is that the best way that I found is to actually go to job fairs and put yourself in front of employers to help yourself stand out, and it helps as well with a disability because they are seeing the disability, but they're also seeing your personality.
Do you believe it would hinder you if you put down on a CV that you was disabled?
I know that that's against the law, and there are like discrimination acts against that and laws against that. But I do believe that that is to a large extent human nature to favour an able-bodied person over a disabled person.
How do you think we can help to change people's perspectives?
I think it comes down to just having more disabled people in visible jobs. I mean, the reality of it is that disabled people mainly work in office roles now, but I think if we put them more in the public sector where people could see disabled people working, I think that would change perceptions.
So overall, in your opinion, what are some of the challenges disabled people face, and how do you think we can rectify them?
I think there are some great services, specifically in the UK, to help with employment if you have a condition, and I think that certainly helps. And I think if you're saying problems that disabled people face and how we rectify that, I think those services certainly do help to kind of like take a lot of the fear away from people, because I had a massive issue with confidence entering the job market, and it certainly helped to talk to people about it and to realise actually that I wasn't alone, and to have people helping me find a job.
Can you think of any unhelpful perceptions that people have about disabled people in employment?
I think it's just that disabled people can't work. That is certainly the main one. Like I say, because we don't see disabled people out and about in everyday jobs necessarily. People have the perception that they don't work, and that's wrong. Disabled people lead very productive and work-filled lives. They run businesses. They do everything able-bodied people can. Sure, we might have physical boundaries, but it's all about working around those and putting yourself in a position where you can work. I think one last point, I think it certainly helps to train yourself up on a specific skill, because I'm in a job now where I make games, an apprenticeship, and I think if I didn't have the years teaching myself on the computer because of my condition and because I couldn't always go out places, I don't think I would be in this position now. So I think it certainly helps to train yourself up in the best way you can yourself.
To round it off, what would you say to a disabled person that is anxious about getting onto the employment ladder?
I'd say look for help don't do it alone. I think, looking for a job is hard for anybody, and it's one of the most anxious and most. It's the time when you have to put yourself out there, and that can be anxious for everybody. But yeah, certainly when you've got a condition of any kind, look for help. Don't do it alone. Even if you have to do like voluntary jobs to begin with to gain experience, that's fine. That can be often great. Don't put yourself in a position where you're doing a job that you're gonna find physically hard. Make sure you can do the job you've signed up for. But that would be my advice. Use as many services as you can. Get as much advice as you can. Go to as many job fairs, and ultimately, don't be pressured in finding a job by a certain date or by other people, because I think it's important that, especially with a condition, you kind of like work that out in your head first, because you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're anxious every day going to work. You've got to actually be mentally prepared for it.
So that's it for this video. I hope hearing what Dave had to say on this topic maybe put the prospect of employment onto your radar a bit more, as well as maybe change some perceptions on people in employment with a disability. But if you did like the video, make sure you do subscribe for more videos on all things disability. Thanks for watching, and have a good one, guys.